are just 4 more weeks left in the baseball season for the Charleston Riverdogs. Today, I talk one-on-one with President and General Manager Dave Echols for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Dave Echols, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Hey, thanks for having me, Quintin. It's a pleasure.
Well, I appreciate it greatly. Obviously, you're the president and GM of the Charleston Riverdogs. And I know in my last interview with you for Quintin's Close-Ups, you said, hey, I've been doing this for at least almost 30 years when it comes to minor league baseball. Let me ask you this, Dave. What is the biggest difference about minor league baseball today?
Well, that's kind of an easy and a hard question to answer, I guess, because the Major League Baseball just this year took us over. And so we're learning how to operate under Major League Baseball's umbrella when we used to be two separate entities. So I'd say that's the biggest difference, literally, right now. But I'd say, it's also now a much. 30 years ago, it was a lot of mom and pop owning the teams, a real grassroots kind of feel, and now it's certainly a little bit more big business. I guess it's still community driven grassroots, but it certainly has a little bit more of a corporate flair to it, I'd say.
How community-driven and grassroots really is the Charleston Riverdogs?
Extremely. That's our bread and butter. That's where our marketing outreach begins. That's what it all is centered on. We believe in that so much. We brought Chris Singleton on a few years ago to spearhead that outreach, and it's just a key component for everybody on staff to be giving back and to be connecting with the local community any way we can. And so there's a lot of initiatives that we have out there, and Chris is spearheading most of them and just doing a tremendous job.
And what are the other key components, obviously, to your success?
Well, we certainly want, it would be that community outreach. We want the community to know we're here. We want them to know that we're here for them. We want them to know that the ballpark is a safe place to come and bring your family, enjoy a game. Even if you're not a huge baseball fan, we want you coming out to the ballpark for the fun, the food, the promotions, the atmosphere. So certainly that's probably one of the biggest.
And describe the atmosphere right now at the Charleston Riverdogs.
Well, there's a unique buzz about it. This is the best team on the field that I think we've had since I've been here. So they've got a great run. We've got arguably, I think we have, if not the best, we have one of the top 2 or 3 records in all of minor league baseball of all levels. So we've got a team that's playing really good this year. And so the buzz is, you've got the team playing really well, and baseball enthusiasts are excited about that. And then you have what everybody's dealing with personally in the stress and the uncertainty of what COVID is. And we're a venue that is outside, and we're safe, and we've got the protocols in place, and people are interested to come out, excited to come out and just take a relaxing breath and just enjoy being around friends and just kind of enjoy being outside. So they're 2 distinct buzzes, but you put them together, it's a lot of fun at the ballpark.
Absolutely. And this is a redundant question, Dave, but what is that fun is good mentality right now?
Well, that stems from Mike Beck, so that and certainly Bill Murray, so that never goes away. But it's really, we try to sit back and say, how can we inject fun in everything we do? It doesn't mean we don't take ourselves seriously, and we're a small business and we're trying to run it as efficiently as we can, but we're doing it with the mindset of, let's try to have fun while we do it. And so if we're, coming up with promotions, or if we're engaging with fans on a game day or even on a non-game day, that's our mindset. So everybody on the front office, that's where we start the conversation.
And what has been the conversation about your Riverdogs team this season?
Yeah, well, all the feedback we get back are, man, you guys are really good. Are you going to go to the playoffs? And our biggest, our response is, we've really got the track record that's pushing us there, but we're not there yet. So hopefully in the next few weeks we'll have clinched a playoff spot and be able to start marketing that to the community. So it feels like our fans have really taken notice of how well the team is on the field this year, which is historically Charlestonians come out to the ballpark to have fun. And yes, they hope the Riverdogs win, but that's really not been the primary focus of why they're coming out. And I certainly think our team has kind of flipped that narrative a little bit, which is fun to see.
Fun to see, absolutely. And what do you hope the narrative will be about the Charleston Riverdogs in the next 5 years?
Well, I think, we've certainly tried to show the community, even when we were shut down all of 2020, we're still here. And so what we're trying to, where would I see ourselves in the next 5 years or so, is trying to build upon that trust with the community, continue to grow with the community, try to improve the fan experience at the ballpark, and by doing that, strengthening that bond with the community and the fans. So we continue to be a summertime destination for the Low Country, and a place where everybody feels they can bring their family and come out and enjoy.
How has the fan experience been, I hate to say it, streamlined?
Yeah, it certainly has. It's a good question, because in order to be allowed to open up, with state regulations, DHEC, and the city of Charleston, we share the place with the Citadel, but it's a city facility, so there's a lot of moving parts there. And so what we were able to do is put forth our protocols, and so it has been streamlined, because we're completely digital on tickets, and we're completely cashless when you're interacting with us, whether it's parking tickets or concessions there. So we've taken steps to try to allow us to check the boxes to be open. And so by doing that, it's certainly streamlined. And those are two of the biggest. I would think we're digital ticketing, and we're cashless on every transaction. So that's definitely something our fans have been getting used to all season long.
And I know in the last interview I did with you for Quintin's Close-Ups, you said at the time, 25 players were going to be brought in each year, particularly, from Tampa Bay. Who's that one to watch player right now?
Yeah, that's a good. It's also a hard question, because we've had such a great team so far to this day, but we've also, in the minor league baseball scheme of the business, if a player is doing well, he typically gets promoted up to the next level on his way to the major leagues, and promoted 12 of our players already. So it'd be hard to single out a particular person right now, because we're in that transition of, we just promoted a few, we're getting some new guys in. The team is continuing to play well, but we do have some of our players that were playing really well early are now promoted to a higher level of baseball. So there's still a lot of young, good players on the roster. We're excited about it. But I'd probably answer and just say it's a team game right now. So it's fun to watch.
And how many more players do you expect to bring in?
Well, I think as we're winding down the season, there's 4 weeks left in our regular season, and then, knock on wood, hopefully a week of playoffs. So 5 weeks left of the season. Barring injuries, I would think this would probably be pretty close to the team we're going to have for the rest of the season. So again, we've got a roster of about 25, 30 guys. I would expect that to stay the same, unless there is some injuries above us that would cause, some more promotions.
Speaking of which, let me ask you this. What's the players' wellness right now in the midst of COVID?
Their mindset seems to be pretty good. Tampa had, in partnership with Major League Baseball, that they had some really strong protocols to keep the guys healthy, with expectations and accountability, which is always key. You want people to have skin in the game. And so I think the players bought into that. They didn't play at all last year. So it was kind of, what do we need to do to play? And so I think our team really bought into that. And it certainly helps when you're playing really well. That makes everything go a little bit easier. Yeah, I've got to do this while we're winning, so I'll do it. So it goes better. It goes a little easier when you're winning.
Exactly right. And you also told me too, back in, I believe, early March, you said the relationship with Tampa Bay, December, you told me the relationship with Tampa Bay was really good before. What's that relationship right now?
Oh, it's fantastic. And, when we left the Yankees after 16 years, they were great partners, top to bottom. We had a great relationship, no hiccups. It was just a wonderful partnership. But bringing the Tampa in, it hasn't dropped at all. Tampa is an exceptional organization. They have a great track record of putting great teams on the field, and again, our season seems to follow that trend. So the guys the front office for Tampa are really nice guys. They really dig into the relationships and want to get to know you as a person and work with you to make their players experience the best it can be. So they're a great group to work with.
That is amazing. And how do you build on that relationship, like I said, 5-10 years from now?
Well, we have a 10-year agreement with Major League Baseball to partner with Tampa. So we've got another 9 years to keep improving and just learn how they like to run their operation, and they'll learn how Charleston operates. And we'll continue to fine-tune it to get bigger and better for them, and hopefully make the player experience even better. And as we're doing that, play on the field will, knock on wood, be strong, and the community will come out and have fun and support it. So, you know, it's all intertwined. And so that's kind of the game plan. Keep those lines of communication open to be able to do that.
Dave Echols, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Always a pleasure, Quintin. Thanks.
Thank you.